That is juicy and it is so tender. Look at this. Just comes straight off the bone. Hey guys, today we're going to find out if the Weber Q can cook juicy succulent pork ribs the way a normal smoker would do it. Apologies for the husky voice, guys. I've got a bit of a cold, but that's not going to stop me from cooking ribs today. Alright, so we've got a small rack of baby back ribs here. So the first thing we're going to do is get the membrane off the back of it, and then we're going to just season it up in some magic dust. Then we're going to get these ribs on the barbecue over some indirect heat using the Weber Q roasting tray. And we're going to let them sit there for probably about 2 hours till we get them to a nice mahogany color before wrapping them. Alright, so a quick trick to get this membrane off the back is to just get the corner started. If you can get a bit of it up, and grab it with some paper towel. And then you just want to pull the whole thing back. Okay, I'll just get that little bit off there that I missed, off the corner. Okay, so we're going to season these ribs in Lane's Magic Dust. This is the hot version. This goes really well on not only pork, but all different meats. But today I'm just going to put this on only and give it a nice heavy coat. So we'll just start on the back. The back doesn't need as much as the other side where majority of the meat is. We'll just get some on there. Just pat all that in. Right, flip them over. Now this is the important side. Alright, so they're all seasoned up. We're going to let these sit here for about 15 or 20 minutes or so just to pull in all these flavours into the meat. And while that's happening, we'll get this barbecue set up for an indirect smoke. Okay, traditionally these would go into a smoker or an oven, but today they're going in the Weber Q. So this is going to be set up as an indirect cooker now. We're going to use the Weber Q roasting tray. And just put that grill grate on top. So this being a gas barbecue, we're going to have to create a little smoke pouch here to give us some of that smoky flavour. So what you can do is just get some wood chips. These are apple, which goes really well with pork. You want to just fold it over and create a little pouch. Once you've folded it up into a little pouch, you can just punch a few holes into it with a knife. Once there's a few little holes in it, you can pop it in the barbecue here. And once that gets hot, that's going to start smoking and give us a nice smoke taste over our meat. Now I've also just popped a water tray in there. That's just going to help to keep some moisture in this meat during the cook. So now to start this up, we're going to run our plus burner. Now we're going to turn off the Q burner and just leave the plus burner on for now. And we're going to keep an eye on the temperatures. And hopefully that's just sitting around that 130-degree mark, which should be a nice low and slow cook for these ribs. So I'm going to pop a thermometer into the barbecue today just to keep an eye on the temperatures. And of course it had a flat battery, so it's going to be on charge throughout the cook. So that just slides into the lid there and just sits there. We'll let that preheat to roughly 130 degrees. That's going to be the aim for this cook. If it goes up or down a little bit, I'm not too worried. So we'll let that warm up and then we'll get the ribs on. Okay, so we're at temperature now. It's time to get these ribs on. So we'll place them just on that tray there. Let's go probably on a bit of an angle actually to make them fit. Now the way you place your ribs, that's how they're going to stay when they cook. So if you put them bent, they're going to bend. Put them straight, they're going to stay straight. So these will be on for roughly 1 to 2 hours now. We'll just keep an eye on the colour. That's all we're looking for now. And hopefully it pulls in a bit of smoke flavour from this smoke pouch. Alright, see you soon. Okay, let's have a look at these ribs. I've had to move the barbecue just into a corner to keep it out of the wind. So what I'm going to do now, you just give these a spritz. I'm just doing it every sort of half an hour, just giving it a bit of a spray in some apple juice, just to keep that moisture in them. And just keep an eye on your water tray as well to make sure that hasn't run out of water. We'll close these back down and let them keep cooking. Oh, look at them. Okay, so these ribs have been in here for about 2.5 hours now. It's taken a little bit longer to get that nice colour, but it's time to pull these off and we'll wrap them up. Okay, so it's time to wrap these ribs. So what we're going to do is pop a few things on there just to help it render down and get them tender. Just going to put some brown sugar down. Now this sweetness goes really, really well with the pork. You got a bit of honey, not too much, or it can burn. And I'm just going to pop a few pieces of butter in. And now we're going to pop the meat side into that. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces of heavy duty foil. I always double layer it just in case you get a break from one of the rib bones popping through. You want to go as tight as possible. Okay, now these go back into the barbecue. And we'll just keep an eye on them. To check these for doneness, we're going to probe these with a quick read thermometer. You can normally feel it when you're just pushing through between the bones. You should be able to feel that nice tenderness as you stick the probe in. And the rough temperature you should see on that probe should be around that 95-degree mark. Okay, so I've just opened these up now. And now when we stick this quick read thermometer in, it's like butter in there. Nice and soft. Around that 95, 96-degree mark. So that's perfect now. So we'll pull these off now and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we're going to come up with a bit of a basting liquid now. So what I've done, I've just grabbed some of those juices from where the ribs were cooking in the foil. So that's a bit of butter, brown sugar and honey and just whatever juices rendered off the pork. I'm just going to add a little bit of barbecue sauce to it. And then we're just going to mix that up. Mix it up till it's about this sort of consistency. We're just going to baste the ribs in it. And we'll paint all this on and then we'll just leave it in here for another 15 or so minutes just to let that sauce set. And then these ribs are going to be finished. Just make sure you get every inch of it. We'll come back to these shortly. Okay, so these ribs are finished. Have a look at those. They've come up spot on. They're very, very nice and tender, as you can see. They're just about to break apart there. Let's cut these up. Here it is so you guys can see it. That is juicy and it is so tender. Look at this. It's come straight off the bone. Alright, now it's time for that taste test. They're really good. You don't get the exact same amount of smoke as you'd normally get on a smoker. But for a gas barbecue, these are some really good ribs. They just fall off the bone. That's just perfect. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I release content weekly with lots of tips and tricks and cook up videos for you guys. Click up here for some more videos and happy grilling, guys.